Hello and welcome back. This is Nom Nom, and we are once again in Oxygen Not Included. This is cycle 116 of the Spit and Shine base, which was part of the Buff and Polish post-update series, which turned into, well, the whole spaced out thing came into full release a couple days ago, as of this recording. So we are cruising along here. We're doing pretty good with oxygen. But we're not doing great with food. So those are the main two things we want to address are going to be food and oxygen. And I think we're going to start with food. It's the slightly more critical one. But I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the printing pod. And it looks like brine is the order of the day, being that we don't have a lot of food. And I can actually use that brine in my oxygen setup that I'm sort of preparing up here. In fact, I'll go ahead and do a little more of that dig. So what I was doing up here is I was just preparing an oxygen generation area for them to prep in their downtime. And when we left off on the last one, which was a few cycles ago, I just had some dig errands and some sweep errands mostly for them to run through. It looks like these are the only storage containers we have that aren't full. So I am going to have to find a new place for storage containers. Probably going to be something like that. Yeah, something like that, and then we'll just move that up. And that'll work. So that I'm not really too concerned about. They can get to that. I mean, they will get to it, but they'll get to it on whatever for priority. I'm going to probably be prioritizing some other things higher, like food. Now, I want to start growing the spindly grubfruit. In order to grow the spindly grubfruit, I need the sweetle. Looks like I've got one sweetle and one grub over here. Got a couple more sweetles over here. A couple more sweetles over here. So I think I want a sweetle ranch to feed my sweetle farm. Maybe we'll just grab the first egg from the sweetle from the farm. So what I'm thinking of here is if we look at the spindly grubfruit, it requires fertilization of sulfur, but it does not require dirt or water. So I'm thinking if we look at temperatures, it's kind of warm over here, 40 degrees. This thing has a temperature range of what? 15 to 50. So that actually works out. This area shouldn't get any hotter than it is. If anything, it should get colder with this cooling system going on over here. So, do I want to do it right below here? Maybe I'll do it right here. We'll do a sweetle, or not a sweetle farm, a grub farm right down here. Now they require 2, I think, tall to grow. Oh, they might be 3 tall. So I'm going to leave them room for 3 tall, and we're going to go ahead. I'm going to do this, but then I'm going to stop doing this because over here I'm going to need 2 things. Let's see. Let's put that there. We can actually do a couple of those like that. So what I'm going to want to do over here is I am going to want. You know what? I'm going to try and do this right for the gas flow. I'm going to do this here, and we're going to destroy these here. But just the tile, not the pipe behind it. Yeah. So we can extend this all the way down here. So my plan is then to put a farm station here and a critter drop-off. And I'll need both of those things to get the sweetles over here. Farm is probably the most highest priority thing at the moment. Yeah, and I'm not even prioritizing it, and they're getting to it pretty quickly, so. I am going to just put a couple of airflow tiles here in the middle, just to help stuff move through the base. Alright, we'll priority 6 this. So I don't need hydroponic tiles because this doesn't require any liquids. And we'll see how big it is when they're done here. One more right there. And I can go ahead and put the farm station and the critter drop-off in because they will not use them. If you recall, if you've been following this series, this is the Fastidious Dupe series. And the Fastidious Dupes will not work in a room that's not clean. So that room has to have walls and floors and doors, be sealed off and swept up before they will work any machines. So if there's a machine that doesn't require work, like a what's something that doesn't require work? A battery, for example, a storage cabinet, something like that. What is that? A carbon skimmer, an electrolyzer. In theory, those could work in a room because they are not required to deliver anything to those for them to work. So they're not working. Well, they're not working the machine. Deodorizer, they have to deliver sand to, so that one actually needs to be in a room. All right. These were not priority 6 because they weren't slated to be built when I priority 6'd everything. And I can't plant anything in here, so I can't set the desired plant in here until I get this swept up. And it looks like I did manage to get a pip in here. See if we can't get him out of here. And then, of course, sweep everything. I was originally thinking I was going to do this farm to the left over here, but I don't know. I just like the temperatures over here better. Speaking of temperatures, our oxygen system is nice and cool. We're at 21 degrees. The water coming in is at -6. We got the radiant pipe there. This machine is heating up the water nicely. The water moves slowly through the system because we're just not using that much. And the way I'm doing this right now, I have this other dig plan set up for them to come through the side over here and get to this cool slush geyser. So I actually want to use this cool slush geyser and its -10 degree output temperature to cool this oxygen system over here, and also then basically pass through here to cool it, and then that'll warm up the water. Do some filtration over here of the water to make it clean water, and then pass it into the electrolyzers for them to consume. Now I do need somewhere for the hydrogen to off gas in this system, and this ethanol it's got to move. So I'm thinking of just combining it with this over here, which means I'll have to dig over here, build out a larger void for ethanol, and then combine this ethanol. Actually, you know what? I should combine this ethanol and this ethanol with this ethanol over here, which is sort of more out of the way because my base is eventually going to take up that space, right? So I should probably not just move ethanol into my way. I can put a pump in here because the pump isn't worked directly by the dupes. So I could put a pump in here to get the ethanol out of that room. Okay, it looks like they got everything. I need to get rid of those plants that I didn't want. And they actually did something I didn't expect, and I'm confused by. They actually used the micronutrient, or they used the farm station to create micronutrient fertilizer. But there's nothing for them to use the fertilizer on, because you can't use fertilizer on mealwood. So I'm not certain why they did that. Just double checking that this is indeed a greenhouse. It is 60 tiles of greenhouse goodness. And it is 17 grubfruits, or will be 17 grubfruits. So I also need to put down a storage container. We'll put that right there. We'll actually put down 2 of them. And this will be for dirt. Again, though, the one thing, even though they use it per se, I allow storage bins outside of rooms because otherwise the beginning of this game would have been impossible. As it was, we've lost 3 dupes now. 2 on this planet and 1 on the other planet. Speaking of the other planet, let's go ahead and sweep that up. So I'm going to set this to agriculture. Well, we can put fertilizer in there. We can also put in this consumable ore. Where the heck is dirt? Organic? No. Seriously? Why don't I know where dirt is? Cultivatable soil. Wow. I don't have 2,000 hours in this game. And we'll go ahead and do that for both those. Now, I don't think micronutrient fertilizer is something that you can actually store anywhere, now that I think about it. So, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I don't think micronutrient fertilizer is something that you can put in a box, which is odd, and I think that that's something that the developers Clay should maybe look at, because it kind of makes it hard for me to do this challenge. Literally, storage unavailable because it can't be stored. If I'm wrong, please somebody correct me, but I don't know where micronutrient fertilizer would fall in the list of things. Yeah, I don't even see it in the dictionary. So, I don't think you can do that. So I'm going to drop some Grubfruit here, and then I'm going to copy the settings. That's with the backslash. And copy that all the way across. Now, I don't have that many seeds. So that is one issue. And then the other thing is I need to come up here and get this guy. And then I'm going to carry on up here to get more grubfruit seeds. And then I can do the same thing over here and go get those grubfruit seeds. Alright, that is looking promising. Over here I want to say Sweetles. I will also allow Sweetle larva. I will allow grubfruit and grub wormlings, but I only want like 2. I don't need a whole bunch in here. Maybe 3. And we'll say auto wrangle the surplus. Give that our priority 6, so hopefully they will get wrangled up and in there before anywhere else. Printing pod went off again. That means it's been 3 cycles. And let me check a look at Elurilos or Aurelios. Is that Allurilis? So you tell me, how do you pronounce that? I wanted to look at skills because I needed someone over here with field research. Otto did get field research, which means Otto should be able to turn this on if I hit activate and give it a priority of 6. Hopefully Otto not allowed by schedule, so hopefully Otto will get to that in his next day cycle. So what I'm missing over here is a way for them to refine metals, and I'm going to fix that by having them dig this. Then they're going to put in a floor here. Maybe. And then they're going to put a rock crusher up there so that they can make some refined metals. They make some refined metals, then I can put a smart battery on the coal generator and we can start using the coal generator. Currently disabled, even though they delivered coal to it, it is set to not run. And they basically never have power over here. So the question I was asking myself is, do I want to bring a 3rd dupe over here? And I think I do. So as I go into choose blueprints, I think we'll go with Travaldo over here. But then I want to take a look at the skills real quick. Bonnie has farming and grilling. Otto has research. Travaldo, we will give him digging, and we'll work him up the tree in time. Looks like I missed assigning a skill to somebody. So Ellie over here, we'll give her suit wearing. She's on the other base. Okay, so that gives them something to do. They do not have a lot of oxygen over here. That is one of the reasons why I needed to get this enabled, so that we can start sending some water once we get it over there. Now, this is the input, and it's been enabled. So I could pipe some water over there. And I probably should. So we're gonna set up another, you know, because can't have too many concurrent build jobs going on. We'll set that up also for them to do in their free time. So I'm gonna no seed available. Yeah, I had the one seed apparently. So I'm gonna give this a priority 6 for them to get up here. We'll priority 6 this also. And we'll give them some dig tests queued up there. My pips, of course, are going to run through here and do whatever the pips want to do. I do have this one mod. It's the pip overlay. It tells me where my pips can and can't plant anything. There's some... I understand the rules. They're kind of hard to explain, but plants have to be 3 away from each other horizontally and 5 away from each other vertically. But it flows from right to left, so it's easier to plant from right to left than it is left to right. You actually need more space. I think I understand the rules. Let's just say that. But of course, now if I open that up, my pips are going to go up there and feel the need to plant whatever they can up there. So I got to grab those seeds and get them planted in the farm before my pips do. There we go. And I think on the grill here I can do, yeah, roasted grubfruit, which I do have. And we need to sweep that. I think I thought I had somewhere where I could sweep that too. We're just going to sweep it up to here right now. So we'll take critter eggs, pinch row larva, sweep only. Do you not take critter eggs, Sweepy? I guess Sweepy doesn't take critter eggs. Also, I'm not sure if they will attack Sweepy. I don't think they do, though. I don't think anything recognizes Sweepy as a critter. Like, I don't think Sweepy has a health bar. Alright, there's much happier poke shell now. But I don't want to keep that in there, so there we go. I am going to copy the settings over here so that they can sweep stuff. And we have to come up with a more permanent solution over here for that. I don't know if I have the automation. No, shipping. We do have an auto sweeper, which covers most of the room. That agate was over here, so I actually wouldn't have covered it, but I mean, it'll cover 80% of the cases, maybe. We'll see. We'll see about the sweeping. I guess you can't set what Sweepy sweeps. Like he's not like a storage bin. He just sweeps everything. Okay, so I should be able to get to all that. See if we can get them in there. And then I'm going to wrangle this one Sweetle. See if they get to that with any kind of... Okay, and then I can dig up that and that also, and that. Those are all ripe, spindly grubfruit plants. So that'll give me some grubfruit nuts and seeds. Yeah, we'll give that a priority 6. Maybe eventually they'll wrangle that Sweetle. I think I only have one person with the ranching skill, or one dupe with the ranching skill, so... Oh, you crazy dupes. I saw that. I'm trying to plant my spindly grubfruit so before I can relocate him. Alright, I also... Let's see. I don't know how else to do this. I was... If I do this... I have to dig that up. I don't know if I'll be able to reach that. I don't think I will. I want to put a critter drop-off over here on the left-hand side, but it needs to be in a room for me to use it. So I was just going to do a one wide room with a door on either side and leave the door on the left side open. Actually, I think I can just deconstruct that, and then if I just do... Yeah, that'll work. Alright, they still have not wrangled this Sweetle. We'll give it a priority 7. Check the errands. End of cycle 121, top of cycle 122. Stress is hovering around 20%. That's not terrible considering some of the skill levels that my dupes have. And this is going pretty well. I really need to get a Sweetle down there though. Alright, they picked up the Sweetle. Who's that? Liam? Follow cam. Nope. Follow cam. No navigation. There we go. Boom! Alright, we can stop following you now. So this Sweetle should start tending these into actual grubfruits instead of spindly grubfruits. I don't know how often it'll do it, but it did that first one real quick. And I also don't know how far along a plant can be. Like, it can't do it, I wouldn't think, when it's like 99% grown, right? It would have to do it when it's still young to get it to grow. Nope, that one was 74% when he gave it the touch. Oh, okay. So the spindly grubfruits must grow faster than the grubfruits. Because the growth, either that or the growth just gets cut in half when they convert it. One of the two. But that'll be huge for future food. Yeah, I think 1 is good enough. So 3 will be plenty in here. And then these guys, what do they eat? They eat sulfur and excrete sucrose. So I could move the storage bin, or a storage bin, in here with sulfur. I think I'll do that. I'm going to destroy this. Not a storage bin. Food, a critter feeder. So this thing will never be tame. So I do want to ranch them so I can get some tame ones. Alright, Ellie, micronutrient fertilizer. Yeah, see, it didn't get the farmer's... Oh, I guess that one got farmer's touch. No, that one got it. Okay. But it's not a... Alright, well, we'll see. I don't know if the farmer's touch is going to persist across the conversion from spindly grubfruit to grubfruit. Hopefully it's considered the same plant. It's actually a question about farming I don't know the answer to, so... Keep up the good work, little Sweetle. So now the grub, I actually want to grab him too. We'll wrangle him. Now the grub eats sulfur and sucrose. So he will eat the sucrose that the Sweetles put out, and he'll excrete mud. You know what that means? That means I also need to make room in here for a sweepy, don't I? Let's see. Yeah, I guess we'll dig those two out. And we'll put in a sweepy dock in here. Sweepy dock will help me pick up all these spindle grubfruit seeds. And it'll pick up the sucrose and the mud, I guess. Yeah. In their free time, they did indeed finish that up. We'll have them sweep that and that. And then we'll move on to oxygen. So I want them to do this. 36. And the printing pad went off. We'll check to see what we've got there. Looks to be... I think we'll take the aluminum ore right now. Alright, over on this planet, check the oxygen levels. Steady-ish. Oh, I did build this oxygen diffuser last recording? One before? I don't remember. So, as long as they have algae, which they do, they should be okay over here. And this is set up and working now. Oh, I was going to add one of these guys over here. So that this area did not become unbreathable. And they finished that, so I'm going to dig that one out, and then they can do the floor and the doors. And I guess I'll have to do that to get the ceiling done, right? Alright, so that is good for them to go. Back over here. Sometimes when they start a deconstruction task and then abandon it, the little deconstruction icon goes away, and I think they stop deconstructing it. Like the flag left the object that was being deconstructed, but it never got deconstructed. Let's get that done with haste. Alright. And swept up. Thank you. Awesome. So one of the things I mentioned was fertilizer. I only have 6 tons of it. I think I accepted 3 tons from Printing Pod once upon a time, and probably dug some up from like around the water sources or something. But that is something I'm going to have to consider what to do with. You know, I think I'll use polluted water from the lavatory. So this is almost full. This is germy clean water that's gone through this sieve. So maybe I'll send my polluted water that I don't need, the overflow, instead of cleaning it and putting it in here, maybe I'll send it to a fertilizer plant, and maybe that can be right over here next to the bathroom. So a couple things I'll do there. I will dig that out in preparation for doing that. But also, I just noticed that they finally got this done, and we are going to put some brine over here to make a water lock so that we can get in here and mess with some chlorine, which is going to be a little rough on my dupes because I haven't made any breathing masks or suits or anything. So we're just going to subject them to some harsh environments temporarily. But then once we get that set up, there should be no need for us to go back in there at some point. And they are doing this in their free time. They started to dig these tiles out. Okay, they did get over here. It looks like I need a ladder system to keep them from getting trapped over here. Let's see, all this ice is going to melt. I do have somewhere to put that over here. So I'll tell them to sweep that. Make sure that they can get in this door still. I didn't do anything weird with the door permissions, did I? I did not. Oh, and it looks like my Wheezewort broke. I had him on an ice tile that I guess maybe it was a polluted ice tile, judging by the polluted water down here, and it looks like it melted. Polluted ice melts at -18. Yeah, it melted. So what do I do here? Do I turn that into a farm tile? I think I have to turn that into a farm tile, yeah? Let's get that Weezewort going over here so maybe we can... there we go. Keep this area cold enough to not have a bunch of ice melting. And what is that? That is snow. I think we can sweep all that too. Okay, Starvation. You've got food. $20,000 meal ice. Are you guys allowed to eat meal ice? Travoldo? No. See? Trying to kill me a Travoldo. Travoldo and Otto both should be able to eat meal ice. There we go. My default is that my dupes can't eat meal ice because on the other map, I'm turning it all into lice loaf. And I think... Oh yeah, I'm not turning it into lice loaf over here. I don't have the water. Well, I have some, but I just don't have a lot of water over here. I also need to turn this toilet into a real toilet. And it looks like I need to give my other dupe a bed. Yeah, new Travoldo has no bed. I need to get rid of this water. So many things I need to do. So I think we're going to let that water do what we did with the water above. Is we're going to let it spill down here. And we got to finish up this room so we can do a little bit of industry over here. Back to Grozon. Alright, so let's go ahead and wrap this up. Our farm is about done. We're going to drop a sweepy dock right here and bring some power in. How do I want to do that? We'll go through the wall. And I think that completes our farm. Oh no. Did our Sweetle die? And why haven't you been wrangled yet? He is 46 out of 150. I believe our Sweetle died, which is unfortunate. So we'll have to fetch us another Sweetle. Because I think every time these get harvested, they turn back into spindly Grubfruits. So yeah, but we'll take care of that next time because we've run up against our time limit. Anyhow, one farm down. I just need a new Sweetle. As usual, I appreciate you guys watching my videos. If you've enjoyed this content, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. Until next time, this is Nom Nom, signing out.